So manufacturing impacts almost every aspect of our lives, from the food that we eat to the products that we buy. But there's an age-old kind of saying that brings about some trouble, which is no one really wants to know how the sausage is made. And that little issue there causes some pretty nasty problems for a lot of us. There's two big ones, and I'll go through the first one. The first one is, in order to get the products down to the ground, to the stores that you want it at, the earth is dug up. Forests are raised, jungles are cleared, pollution is put up into the air, put out into the ocean, put out into the waters. And it's just to make sure that you get your product, because one of the key things for consumers is that when you buy that new phone and you open that box for the first time and you peel back that little plastic sticker on the screen, you get that oh feeling. Yeah, so that's what we all want, right? Now, the problem with that, of course, is it's at the expense of the earth, and we have to find out how somehow we're going to have to juggle that. Right? So that's one big issue. Second big issue is actually for the manufacturers themselves. Right? So when you look at the high competition between manufacturers, you look at the increasing cost in wages, increasing cost in raw materials, and at the same time, we all want things faster and cheaper at the stores that we buy from, right? Because we want to maximize that oh feeling when we get that new phone. Right? So this is increasing pressure for them. And unfortunately, when that pressure increases, environmental conditions tend to slide to a not as critical priority in order to make sure that they stay in business. So what can we do? What can we solve, and how do we go about doing this? And ArcStone has essentially looked at this and said there's a way. And we can solve both of these problems by one is real-time data, and two is from ArcStone's tool sets. And the way that we started doing this in the very first one to solve the issues of the manufacturers is by building and releasing the next generation manufacturing execution system. Now, this tool was designed to quickly deploy right onto the production floor, and in fractions of the time compared to our competitors, get onto the ground, digitize the process, pull in live information, control the production operations, and optimize it. Right? And this is something that is way more cost-effective and way faster than our competitors, which is surprising because these are massive behemoth competitors that are out there. I'm not going to name names just in case they happen to bank with you, right? But you'd figure with all those resources, and even a blind squirrel will occasionally find a nut, they haven't found this next generation nut. And ArcStone has found that, and since 2013, we found the nut and we've ran with it. Right? We've started out in Singapore. We've grown across 7 different countries. We have thousands of users. And all of this means that we have live data from these factories, which are then used for true visibility across the production floor. We can optimize the processes and we control efficiencies, and we've increased productivity. We've reduced the amount of downtime, which directly relates to less consumption of materials, less pollution, and getting the parts to you as quickly as possible. Right? Thank you. Now, in order to solve the other part, which is to show you how the sausage is made, ArcStone is coming out with ArcNet in next year, and this is designed to interconnect all these factories together that are producing all these individual parts, so that at the end of the day, a consumer can walk into a store and scan a QR code and trace back the entire history of how that product was made, which materials it used, where did it come from, how did it impact the world, how much electricity it consumed, how much clean water it consumed, and get this at your fingertips. So then there's no excuse for buying bad products that are bad for the earth. Right? So all of this is possible through 2 key things: real-time data and ArcStone's tool sets. And with these two, we can actually change the way that people make things and people buy things. So for the crowd here, if you know of manufacturers that are keen to look into this and not only just drive cheaper products out, but are looking to do both good and do well, come talk to me when you have some time. Thank you so much.